to stand up straight and shit tonight.
Yeah. Hey,
There we go. Digitized live in Studio 1B for the first time in over a month with no blame to me. Here he is, the man who's too important to be here, the man with a busy schedule,
You're damn right.
the man without who I am nothing because I can't do nothing when he's not here. So here he is, Dave the Waterman.
Hey, what's up, bro? It's good to see you, D-Train,
What's up,
man.
fella?
Good to see you, man.
It's been a while.
Yeah. It's been too long,
It's almost been a month, I think.
No way.
Damn near it.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, you're right. Probably at least I know 3 weeks for sure. At least 3 weeks for sure, man. I know that because I started the new night shift with Roger 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and you were here for
And I was here
the episode after the promo.
Right, and then because we had talked about it, and then now it's still going. Got this. It's just, man, dude.
So how's that working for you? How's it going working no hours a week for most of your adult life to now actually working some serious hours?
Don't even start with me there, bro. I've worked a lot of hours, man, and I've done a hardcore manual labor, bro, and you know that, man.
Now, I'm going to trust that the clicking that you and I are hearing in our headphones are not going out over the system.
Waves. Yeah, I'm trying not
I'm
to.
hoping it's just our onboard crap because I am by no means in the position to track out any crap.
Start doing technical wire tracing and all that, dude.
So let's go back a few weeks.
Okay.
What have you been up to?
So yeah, man. Dude, I've been just busting ass, man. I'm trying to keep everything together. There's a lot going on in my life, man, and you know, it goes, and you know, with me, man, it goes from kind of like nothing really happening, and then all of a sudden, bam! It's like it's just an explosion of events and things are going on, and I'm getting asked to do this, and I'm getting pulled here, and I'm getting pulled over there, and then, you know, you can't make everybody happy, man.
No,
you know what I'm saying? And I'm a people pleaser, man. I try. You know what I'm saying? I try. But sometimes it just doesn't work out, and some people I've got to neglect a little bit, and that kind of sucks, and I don't mean to do it. It just, it happens that way, man, because I'm just trying so hard to do so much.
So you're neglecting us then, our children?
No. Come on, man. Come on,
I see how it is.
man. I'm getting at the fact, and you know how it is, when you're working on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the toughest things I'm running into right now is the fact that I am working a very manual labor job in the day, so I am sweating bullets.
Sweating bullets!
Yeah, Megadeth. And I got to go into a business atmosphere. You know that. And I've already been yelled at for showing up dirty.
Stinking.
Yes, dirty, stinking, and sweaty, man, because it's like, hey, bro, I'm working in the day, man. What do you want me to do? So
Yeah, but a can of deodorant to keep in your van does not cost that much money.
No, it doesn't.
An
man.
extra shirt to keep in your van.
I know, I do, and I'm.
It's kind of like the Karate Kid thing. There is no pain in this dojo, is there?
Right. So I've been toweling off, and I've got my chicken man has given me a portable shower.
Oh, Jesus, not with this again.
Yeah, dude. So I got a portable shower now.
I thought we came up with a viable solution for your
works.
shower insecurities.
It works, man, but I gotta rinse off because I get insulation and stuff on me, man.
I thought we agreed that you would take a whopping $10 out of each monthly check
and go to
and get a gym membership and take a shower like a civilized human being instead of a vagrant in the back of a field behind a van.
I haven't made it that far yet, bro. But I will. I'll get to that point. I don't even know what gyms are down by the station. I gotta find out. There's gotta be a bunch of them, man, because there's colleges down there, or the one college down there. But you're right. That's a viable, idea. It's, I'm not driving out to the interstate.
Where are you taking these wilderness showers at?
Just as long as I can walk back up into the bush.
Yeah, at least you can walk.
Yeah, at least I can walk, dude. You're crapped out, man.
Yeah.
I feel bad for you, man. I saw you when I pulled up. I said, is he sleeping in the garage? I'm sorry, man. But I was like, whoa, homeboy's hurt.
Try that.
What is that?
Let's try it.
All right. It looks clear.
So, about 2 weeks ago, I went to the Upchurch concert.
Upchurch. Oh, that dude.
I was over at the ranch. That place was effing sold out.
Yeah, right on, dude. Yeah.
What is that? Tastes like scope, huh?
man. And you know me, dude. I'll take a big swig. Oh.
Kind of get you by your boo-boo, don't it?
Ooh. What is this, man?
That is some, I had to do a little investigating because I don't want to get, that came from my cooler after I came home from my Alabama event. Someone stashed it in there. That's a German schnapps.
It real stuff, huh?
Yeah, it's the real deal, Holyfield. I don't know. You could barely handle the first one you took.
Oh, I'll take shoot, man. Come on, it's just set.
So anyhow, I was at the Upchurch concert.
Yeah,
that was fantastic. Place was sold out at damn near. I was so surprised at how many people were there.
Dude.
Don't drink it all, man.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm
It's
thirsty.
like $22 a bottle.
Is it really?
I guess.
I almost drank that whole bottle of whiskey in the studio.
But the funny thing is halfway,
so how'd the
halfway
show
through
go?
his set, because he had a drummer and a guitarist, and he had a
Right.
DJ with a turntable. Not a turntable, but a Mac.
Yeah. Okay.
Halfway through the set, the Mac crashed.
What happened, man? How did
played
he
it off-
handle it?
Well, the thing about this cat is
Go
he
to
kind of got
acoustic.
his start making his own crap, just dicking around on iTunes and YouTube,
Yeah.
and all his shit blew up. And so he's like really into his fans, and he understands that his fandom started around social media.
Right.
So the whole time he's on stage, people are trying to get selfies. He'll grab their phone, he'll like actually do the selfie
Oh,
for
really?
him. But
That's cool, man.
When the DJ's laptop took a shit, instead of him freaking out or hey, we'll be back, he's
Yeah.
like fuck it, and he wasn't screaming at the DJ. Hey, take your time. He said, give me a Sharpie. He just started signing autographs
really?
while the DJ was trying to get
rebooted and everything.
the system updated. But
Yeah.
he put on a great show,
That's
man.
cool, man. I didn't even know he was coming to town, man. I had no clue.
Yep.
I don't know a lot of things, man.
No, you don't.
I mean, I can freely admit. I mean, I know the streets, man. I know there's, I know scumbags and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get out of that. Get back into the world of. What the hell? Did you hear that, bro?
Yeah, it's freaking.
That was
race
a Ford.
strip out there.
That was a Ford, man.
No, that was a crotch rocket.
Was it?
Yeah.
It sounded like a Ford, man.
I'm not that far from I guess it'd be almost a 6-lane thoroughfare at some point, and they
Yeah.
just haul ass down through there.
Yeah, they do. Speaking of the hauling ass, man, dude almost had to save some people the other day.
Oh yeah,
Did
what
you hear about
happened? No. Dude, I haven't heard shit from nobody. I ain't talked to you in a month.
Well, I didn't know if you had talked to anybody. Well, I was on my way home from down in Estero, man, and it looked like a car. It was like a Subaru,
Legacy
style. Yeah,
or
like an SUV.
WRX?
Yeah, SUV style.
Oh, okay.
And it looked like they had a bunch of 2x4s. They had tried stacking on the roof.
Oh boy.
And the wind, woo! Sorry about that, folks. But the wind did.
Speaking of wind,
yeah, whew. So the car is going northbound on 41, and it looked like the wind had caught the 2x4s, and they started to slide to like the left, and they started catching all those new palms, that new median they put in.
of course they did, because we replace those damn palm trees every 6 months.
Yep.
Talk about a money pit.
And of course, the guy caught the palms, and I saw it all go down right like a couple hundred yards in front of me. And all I really saw was like the lights in the car flip. And I pulled over, man, and the palms all busted up. And there's glass all over the place, and there's quite a few of us that pull. There's some of us that pull over, and then some of us that don't. You know what I'm saying? People will just drive right around that stuff and keep going.
Well, I
And-
think those people are people who've made the mistake in the past of volunteering to be a witness
gotta be
to an
careful.
accident.
Yeah.
And then you do your due diligence and you fill out your paperwork, and then 2.5
Yeah.
years later you get caught in some mediation by
Yeah.
some dickhead lawyer who acts like
Yeah.
you're part of some big conspiracy to commit insurance fraud.
Yeah, right.
Why would they pull over?
Yeah. So, well, for me, man, I just jumped out real quick and just took a look and was like, hey, I was like, and they were climbing out of the sunroof, and I was like, you guys all right, man? I was like, that's pretty gnarly. And they were like, yeah, they were a young couple. It looked like they were up from up north somewhere.
Did you look at him and say, hey, we can fix this. My dad's got a gnarly set of tools.
Yeah, bro, we'll get you up on the road and going in no time. No, so I just jumped back in the car and took off because I was like, and it was funny because ahead of me is Sanibel Boulevard, and I saw the fire trucks and ambulances. They come out, and instead of going left, they took a right and went further northbound.
Whoops.
And then they came back around. It took them probably another 7 minutes, but the folks were okay, man. So it was pretty cool. But it was sad that they lost all their 2x4s and cars all effed up, man. So that was one of the things, man. And I've been noticing. You know what I got to do, dude?
What's that?
I'm breaking down, man. I'm gonna have to go to the eye doctor, bro.
You've been saying this for 6 months,
Bro,
bro.
it's so bad now. It's my long distance vision is fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's reading.
So you're farsighted.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I can read my own handwriting, other people's handwriting.
Can't read street signs.
I can't. It's tough to read street signs. It's tough. Like
you have 2 jobs now. Well, 3. 2 of them pay.
Yeah, dude.
Go down to the place.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about it after the show because I'm not going to give them a free plug. But their yearly thing is buy one get one free on the glasses.
Really?
And if you want to opt for contacts, they're like $20 a box.
That's not bad.
They'll last like 6 months.
See, I just gotta do something, man, because it's
the eye exam's $80.
So $80 plus
You're
another.
going to be about $150 until it's all said and done.
$150 all said and done. Because I'm starting to get migraines, man.
Of course you are. Your eyes are straining all day, you old bastard.
Yeah, gnarly frontal lobe, man. Tonight, you heard it was metal music, man. On the way over, I had to like freaking headbang my ass off, man, just to like kind of get my whole body to shake that headache off, man. Because I'm sitting there, I'm driving, I'm going, dude, what the hell? And I started at the house, I'm going, man, this sucks. But I'm noticing it's because I'm straining looking at the phone, man.
Well, and you're using your eyes all day, and you can't effing see.
I'm getting old,
What's
man.
the mystery in that?
Well, I guess I'm just getting old, dude, and I'm trying. It's pissing me off, man. That's what's happening. You know, this sucks. This sucks, man. I try to stay healthy, you know. I try to eat at least once a day, you know. I mean, more than that if I get the opportunity, but I'm so damn busy, bro. I don't have time.
Oh, boo.
Come on, man. Seriously.
So, we lived through Hurricane Irma not too long ago. And as we know, a hurricane just flew through here not too long ago, within a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But it's weird how when you live in a hurricane-subjected area,
right,
you kind of get used to it, and it's really, after you climb out of your house for the first 2 days, seeing it's really not that shocking.
Yeah.
But it's always weird when it happens around you and you haven't seen it. Because I just went up to Fort Morgan, Alabama last weekend for the 75th anniversary of the Terror landings. And so as soon as you hang that hard left on the, I-10 West?
Yeah, 10 West, yeah.
As soon as you make that transition, there's just trees down all over the place. It's still so new that when you're taking off-ramps, someone just came through with a chainsaw just to clear the off-ramps. Like 4 or 5 rest areas are completely shut down.
Wow.
It's just, you're driving through there like, oh yeah, they just recently got hit with a hurricane, and it's just insane seeing all the trees knocked down and everything just all jacked up.
Yeah, because it went right up through all that area right there. Wow, I forgot about what the hell was the name of that hurricane, man? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Like,
we only remember the ones that affect us personally.
Yeah, Wilma and Charlie and stuff like that. Yeah, that's gnarly, man, because I do know Mexico Beach in Florida. I've never heard of Mexico Beach, Florida, but they look like they got
like 2 houses survived. One was just built.
Completely trashed. It looked like World War II or World War I, man. Northern France just leveled.
And so I drove out to Alabama, and I had never been up through the Panhandle at all. And basically, to get to Fort Morgan, you just drive past where the sign says, hey, you just changed the time zone, and you go about another 30 miles, 40 miles.
Isn't that weird?
You're down there. And it's on like a 15-mile-long peninsula. And so we get out there. And this isn't... Now, when I say Fort Morgan, Alabama, I'm not talking Fort Myers, Florida, where there's nothing remnant of a fort.
Right, yeah.
There, to this day, is still a goddamn fort out there.
Really?
The place is huge.
Wow.
I mean, it's all 120-year-old red brick. The battery is insane. We took pictures with our Marine Corps group in front of the battery.
Yeah. That's
and it's
cool.
just, the place is huge. There's drone footage of it. And so I really wasn't anticipating the place to be this large when I went down there, because you always hear fort everywhere, and there's maybe some little rebuilt
it's just a
structure
reconstruction
to, a dedication to it. But no, this place was effing huge. It was insane.
Wow. And
so I got up there Thursday night, and it got down like 54. Ooh. And for us Florida boys,
be nice.
It was a little cold. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I slept with 2 wool blankets.
Get out of here!
I had my T-shirt on, my P-41, my P-42, my M41 wool line jacket.
Come 5 a.m. Yeah, it's cold, man.
And that's the crazy thing is, you'll pass out and you'll wake up, you'll sleep great until about 2, 3 in the morning. And then, like I said, 5 a.m. you're awake.
I saw that one photo. Like it looked like you took it in the middle of the night. You're like laying in a ditch or something, man. You're like, or like an embankment, and you had your gun, your carbine, right there. It was a cool picture, man. I was like, check.
The one where I was cuddled up on the ground?
Yeah.
I was just laying there because that was actually at the Fort Morgan Battery.
Oh, okay.
And that giant piece of iron, that is a gear from where one of the old artillery pieces used to sit and turn. This place is huge.
Okay. That makes sense.
But we went up there. We camped out for a few days. I'm not going to get into all the boring details. That's what my What's the Scuttlebutt podcast is for. But the main reason we went up there, obviously, is because it's the 105th anniversary of the Tarawa, but we wanted to do a little bit of a memorial for the landing, and so we originally scheduled 2 landing crafts and a plane to fly over.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Well, unfortunately, one of the owners of one of the landing crafts he works on an oil rig, and as I was saying earlier, the hurricane that came through, he was stuck on the oil rig during the hurricane, and so he couldn't get his landing craft out of dry docks soon enough to get inspected for insurance.
Oh, that sucks.
And so we only had 1 landing craft, but it was still badass.
That's still killer, man. It looked cool as hell, man. I'm checking the video out, and I'm like, check it out, man. I mean, if there's ever a great reenactment, you're I don't know what's the name of the whole group that you work with. Is there like a
no?
It
all depends on, because that one we were doing the 2nd Marines.
Okay. No, that's true. That was the Marines. You're typically in the Army, right?
Yeah, I typically do the ETO because there's not too many PTO events that go on.
Right.
But it was just great, and the cool thing was we've been planning this up to a year, and we knew that the peninsula is surrounded by protected reef. That's why we couldn't actually bring in the landing craft that had the treads on them like originally were there.
Yeah. They're not going to let you just start.
But the whole idea was we were expecting them to drop the ramp. We were going to walk through like ankle-high water, kind of like MacArthur's return to the Philippines, because he did it for a photo op.
Yes, he did.
Well, the tide was actually higher than we anticipated, so when they dropped that gate and we went off, we were waist high in the
saw that.
It definitely made it a lot more realistic, and I've done a lot of reenactments, but I'll just say this and we'll move on.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said about running through the woods and creeks and cattle fields and all that garbage.
Absolutely.
Than actually coming through the surf, being covered in sand.
Absolutely. That salt water sticks to you, man.
And sand all down your neck. You got all the, the harassment
gritty,
from the
man.
elements.
It's gritty, and the only way they say, and I've done this and it works, is if you do take a saltwater bath, man, as soon as you get out of the water, if you don't want to feel that itchy ickness of the ocean, you instantly take a towel and dry off. And I'm telling you, man, you will not feel any of the sand, salt sort of stuff. Of course, you're gonna have it between your toes because if you're at the beach, you're barefooted. But I could only imagine being in full gear, getting off that landing craft into that water up to your waist.
Well, it's even crazier than that because the marina was a mile away. We actually did a forced march down to the marina in full formation. It was pretty cool.
Wow.
But as we're coming down, there's dolphins like torpedoing us. There's dolphins going right underneath us. And it was, the ride to the landing was basically like any other pontoon boat ride, except for when we turned in and the waves hit that front gate and it came over. And the water's pouring down the floor, all of your boots. It's just like watching Saving Private Ryan ones where you look down and there's your boots just covered in water. The water's coming over the edge.
Insane.
Everybody around you is in uniform. And the crazy thing was I just so happened to be on the landing craft with Clay Bonnyman Evans, the author that I interviewed on my last podcast. His great-grandfather landed on Tarawa.
Oh, that's
was the only Marine to be awarded the Medal of Honor, but whose body was never recovered until 2015.
Get out.
So his grandson is not a reenactor, but because this event marked the 75th anniversary of the Tarawa battle and his grandfather had finally been recovered, we invited him out to kind of like when I took you out.
Yeah, exactly.
So not only was this his first reenactment, but he's on a landing craft basically recreating something where his grandfather died 4 short hours later. And I have a picture of us on the boat, and like everybody else is kind of just smiling and taking it all in, but his face is just, he's deep in thought.
Yeah, he's thinking, because, I'm going to be honest with you, man, when I went to the reenactment with you, man, I've never been immersed in something so realistic. I mean, especially with the equipment and the way the guys are and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I got killed and I was laying on the ground and that tank's coming up and I hear those tracks rolling.
Yep, and the ground's shaking around.
And the ground's just rumbling and I'm rumbling off the ground. I'm going, whoa, this is intense, man.
Well, the crazy thing is, since he participated in the to help recover his grandfather's bones, is he had actually been to Bayshio and Tarawa like 9 times in the last 12 years. And so he's seen the real beach. And so he's finally gets to at least put this last puzzle piece. He's actually walked that same beach, but now he's actually has the experience of landing in a landing craft to tie it all together. And it was a crazy experience.
That is crazy.
The 9.5-hour drive sucked back home.
Yeah, I was about to say you had, because I was surprised you even called me, man, or texted me that night. Because
I'm down, man.
I know you're down, bro, but you're so hardcore.
I woke up at 4 in the morning, packed up my camp, drove all the way home.
Sometimes, man.
And as soon as I get off the interstate, you're like, hey, bro, I'm too tired.
No,
I'm like, dude, I just been living outside for 3 days. I haven't had a shower in 3 days. Sleeping on the ground.
Come on, man.
And I'm ready to come home and peel off a podcast. And you're like, no,
dude,
bro,
I got stuff going
tired.
on, bro. I mean, it's insane. I'm trying to make stuff up and write and stay focused, man. Because, dude, you know how easy it is for me to get off track and to end up in a world of shit.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Because that's what I do. Is all of a sudden, you know, things are going great in my life. I've had amazing opportunities, and I'll F it all up, dude, because...
Which we wouldn't expect anything else from you.
You know, it's so insane how that stuff happens to me, man. And I don't mean for it to. It just does. It just, I get out there. I'll just go. And next thing I know, it's 4 days later, and I'm waking up going, what the hell happened? Lost everything.
And so since I've been camping out... No, that's fine. Since I've been camping out in the cold weather for 4 days, I knew that I was going to come home fighting the cold.
Oh, yeah, huh?
And so I came home, I brought a cough with me. It wasn't a big deal.
Dude.
But,
that sucks.
And so I came home, and I took a day off from my normal existence of, you know, my daily grind. And then I went back to work, and I did the dinner, and then I went to the gym. And then, like, on the third day of being back, it was Wednesday night. I start feeling the sharp back pain as I'm walking around. I'm like, here we go.
That's because I told you that Thursday. Was it Thursday?
By the end of Wednesday night, I couldn't even. Sitting in a chair hurts the worst. So sitting in a car sucks. Like right now, I'm in so much pain because it's basically like I'm sitting with somebody grabbing on my spinal cord with vice grips.
Bro.
And so basically what I do is I'll go lay out on my army cot out in the garage for like an hour and a half. Just because it's taut and it's rigid.
Yeah, true.
And it's not on the ground.
Yep.
So I can actually get my spine and take all the pressure off because I don't have an inversion table.
Dude, you got to get you one of those, man. We need a
they're
sponsor.
Not cheap, man.
We need a sponsor. We need an inversion table sponsor for the show so we can get one of those.
But I haven't gone back to the doctors because the last time I went through this, it cost me about $1,200 through 3 different visits before they found out it was kidney stones. And all they do is give you a shot in the ass with steroids.
I got a feeling that's
and some Tylenol 3s.
Yeah, that's.
And so I got some prednisone, which is a steroid.
Yeah.
And
hopefully that'll.
I'm just going to fucking write it out. It
Dude,
sucks.
that's all you can do, man. I mean, I got.
Like right now,
Do you think it's kidney stones again? I mean, because you recognize the pain. Is this the same sort of?
Yes, and the reason I have a pretty good feeling it's kidney stones is as everybody knows at nauseum, and they don't really care. They've heard it so many times.
Yeah, but I'm
off the soda.
Kids, get off the lawn.
Yeah. I'm off the damn soda, and I rarely drink soda. Well, because I spent that weekend outside, and part of my display, I had 12 Coke bottles. And I drank about 8 of those fuckers over 3 days, and those are the Mexican Cokes with the sugar in it.
Right.
And then, driving 9.5 hours, I had a couple Mountain Dews and a Monster. And so, it does not surprise me that my stones are getting revenge on me.
Yeah, you hit the road, man. Yeah, when you start traveling on the road, that's one thing.
And so having that cough sucks even worse. Every time I cough, it feels like somebody's kicked me in the spine.
I get. Sorry, that sucks, man. I feel bad for you, bro.
Oh, that sucks. Well, I had to cancel 2 jobs last week, so now it's costing me money.
Well, I pull up tonight, and I look, and all I saw was those feet sticking in the air, and I said, dude, don't tell him. Is that like a mannequin at first? And I was like, is this, he's got his stuff.
My laid out old ass.
But nope, you were laid up, man, and I've come in burning the smoke, dude, and I'm like, yo.
And so I'm all just hopped up on like aspirin and prednisone and Miller Lights and whatever the hell this crap is.
Oh, that stuff's good, man. Dude, I'm ready for another. Let's finish this baby off, dude.
Man, that's my medication. I made that survive next to you.
That is meds. Yeah. Liquor's good, dude. Liquor's good for you, I think.
Oh, over that weekend I had 3 bottles of sake, Captain Morgan's.
Damn.
Some of that, my Crown Royal Regal Apple.
Jeez.
Bunch of different beers.
Oh, yeah, well, it sounds like it's because you were up there, 3 days? In Alabama?
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night.
Thursday,
so
Friday,
basically,
Saturday night,
after it got dark, we started drinking. We'd pass out in our tents.
Yeah.
And you'd wake up around 3 in the morning and then fight the cold all night.
Yeah, right. Everybody's getting up. Maybe having a little coffee.
The cool thing was the time zone change did not affect me, because when you're waking up at 5 in the morning, and you're in a different time zone anyhow where you lost an hour, it really didn't affect me until I got back. It's like I had to reset all my clocks.
I know. How did that work? Yeah, I was about to say, so you're losing an hour, but you really lost technically 2 hours, because that was the weekend we set the clocks back, right?
But
so,
it really didn't affect me, because I literally lived outside for 3 days. I did not go in a solid structure, with the exception of the restroom, for 3 days.
Do they set clocks back in because
it's 1 hour.
That's Central, right?
It's 1 hour behind us.
Because it's Eastern, Central, and Pacific. There's only 3 time zones.
Yeah, they're 1 hour behind us.
So, God, and that's like in part of the Panhandle of Florida does that, right?
Yeah, it's like 30 miles left of the Panhandle.
Wow, that's wild, man. But they don't. Do they? I don't think they set their clocks back in Arizona, though. I know in Arizona they never set their clocks back.
No, that's Indiana.
Is that what it is?
Arizona may participate in that
Arizona
as well,
participates
but
in
I
that
know
as well.
I know it is Arizona. I mean, Indiana.
You think Florida's going to get into that, man?
They tried to.
I hear they're really pushing for it.
I guess it has to go to the federal government, and they got to vote on it.
Yeah, I heard they're really pushing for it, man.
Speaking of elections, did you vote?
No, dude, I was working, bro.
Oh, BS.
I didn't have time, man.
They had early voting for like a week.
Bro, I don't have it. Technically, to be honest with you, man, I don't even have a physical address, man.
Oh, bull.
I'm not joking you. I literally, all my mail's stacked up at the post office.
That's because you didn't do an address
No,
change.
because I'm not. No, it's not because I'm lazy. Because I'm trying to stay low, dude. I don't want nobody to know where I'm at.
No, that's being dumb.
No, dude. No, not in my world.
Dude, you have 2 jobs now. You need to do 2 things.
Not
One,
in
you
my
need
world,
a permanent
man.
address, and 2, you got to get some minutes on your phone. It is so. I mean, I know
know.
last episode,
know.
last 2 episodes, I was talking about the freedom you have that other of us do not because of your
I love it.
inability to maintain.
I don't need it.
Yes, you do, because I've been trying to get a hold of you, and it sucks.
It's like, dude, you know what? Dude, I'm the toughest dude to get a hold of, bro, because when I'm gone, I'm gone. When I come back into civilization, I check, see what's happening, and then I'm gone again, And I know that's a messed up thing, but, bro, it's just the way I've become so accustomed to it now. It is terrible, though. You're right. You're right.
You and I we always kid ourselves into thinking that we're going to come up for a format for this shit show we have.
Dude,
we never do.
Dude, we got a new phone number,
for those of you guys watching, if you want to give us a call, 772-218-7731. That's a new phone number because we're poor and we use an app to generate us temporary phone numbers here.
Hell yeah.
That is 772-218-7731. It's been a while since we've been together, so and besides, let's be honest. In the news, the only thing that's been going on is election crap for the last 3 weeks, and
that's all that's
we try to stay away from that nonsense here anyhow.
It's all about talking craziness and having a good time, man. Enjoy yourself. That's my philosophy, man.
What would you say was one of the coolest new style cars to come out in the 90s?
Ooh. What was that? The Dodge Stealth.
Those are pretty cool.
That was a cool car.
What was a everyman's car that came out? If you wanted kind of a sporty car, something reliable.
A Ford Taurus.
No, Ford Tauruses weren't designed and didn't premiere in the 90s.
Really? That's late.
What do you think about the Mitsubishi Eclipse?
That was a cool car.
The silver one.
That was a good car.
When it came out, that car really got a lot of guys going in the 90s.
Yeah.
And yes, it's not a quote unquote American car, but it was something that had just recently come out. Mm-hmm. Dropped a lot of jaws. I know somebody had the Spider. It was a wicked car.
Damn.
The reason I bring this up is it'd be interesting if somebody else could label another car that premiered in the 90s, an everyman's car, that maybe would fill this role better. But here's what I'm getting at. You and I, growing up in the 70s and 80s, we would see these old Firebirds that are kind of rot away, and old Mustangs, and guys were like, oh, those cars are so cool, but we're looking at them through young kids' eyes, and you're just seeing beat up cars.
Yeah, you're going.
Well, I saw a Mitsubishi Eclipse driving down the street, and this thing was 16 different colors. It was ragged out. It was beat up, and I was just thinking, is that our generation's Firebird? As far as when you see a car that just was so cool, regardless of what the specs would have been on it, but just the body style and the impact it had on pop culture, at least for young kids, to see one of those 22 years later rolling around just looking like complete dog shit. It's like, is that what our family's generation, our father's generation felt about the Firebird and Mustang?
Well, yeah, except, the 90s got crazy with their paint schemes and that rainbow swirl, with all the metal flake. They went high with the metal flake in the paint, and doing the 7, coats of clear and all that sort of stuff.
Well, they do all that crazy pinstriping, not the lowrider pinstriping, but the big 90s white panel with multicolor.
Right.
And all those cars, they are all cars that high school kids took to all the stereo competitions.
Yep.
But that paint, it dated quickly.
Yes, it did.
And you would see 5 years later these cars that used to be considered badass, now they just look like joke cars because, one, you can't maintain that paint job. Two, with a design that crazy, it becomes dated too quickly.
Yeah, it's very, very
A lot
true.
of old lowrider S10s with some bad paint jobs on them.
Ooh, God, the lowrider, man. Dude, one of my first vehicles...
The Dodge Avenger was a nice one, but it had transmission problems.
Yeah, that was a nice car. Dodge Avenger was nice. I had a Toyota, a 1987...
Celica?
No, Toyota
Camry?
Long bed, short cab, lowered, slammed to the ground.
Was
bro.
those the old yellow ones that the whole beds would rot out of them?
Mine was good, man. My bed didn't rot
That's because
out.
you're out in California.
Yeah, but I ended up selling it for $1. I sold it for $1, bro.
There's another great wise investment tip from you by the behalf of Dave the Waterman.
Yeah, can you believe
Sell
that?
a car for $1.
I sold it for $1 because it was, by that point, man, it was so destroyed because I started jumping it. Like, literally jumping it.
Yeah,
And
13-inch Dayton's. Honey spokes.
Yeah. That's funny, man.
That just reminded me, in the front of my neighborhood back in Grove City, there was a truck modifier. He lived there, and he had two S10s.
That was a popular one, man.
Not only did he have the airbags, but on one of the purple ones, the bed did the whole lifty, spinny bullshit thing.
Yeah.
And he had the hydraulics on them.
Oh,
Well, at the time, there was an MTV spot kind of making fun of those cars, but it's like the surfer hippie guys. It hops, man, it hops.
Right.
And so this house is outside of our bus stop. And so whenever these guys came out, you'd have a whole high school group or middle school group bus stop full of assholes just yelling, "It hops, man!
It hops, pointing
And
at the guy.
so dumb, that guy would get pissed.
Oh, I'm sure he would, because he's going, my cars are rad, man. What are you talking about, little bastards?
Yeah, I had the purple S10 had the fiberglass cap with the pass-through window. They put the boot around it, so you had like the 1212s in the trunk.
Yeah, man. Dude, I remember so many of those, man. They had Nissan lowriders, and the Chevys, man, were really popular, man, because you could take those and put those 350 small block in that thing, man, and make it a badass truck, man.
My buddy Nick, he's watching us tonight. He had a Beretta. I think he had.
Oh, yeah.
He had so many 12s in that trunk. I think he had like 6 12s, maybe more, because he took the back seat out.
That's a good ride, man.
And he damn near blew the weld out of the spare tire well in the trunk from the amount of bass in that damn thing, because he built it for competition.
Yeah, I've been.
What's up, Lorenzo? OG5 in the house.
OG5, what up? Speaking of that, man, there's those videos on YouTube where they show the bass and they show they'll get like a hot chick that sits in the front seat of the car and like her hair will all, buzz out the window because it's just so much.
Mm-hmm.
Those are pretty cool videos, man. Watch those, man, because that's some serious bass, man. It's ridiculous. It's just too much. But speaking of cars, real quick, I want to get we're talking about stuff that was badass in the 90s. Remember the Chevy Typhoon and the Chevy Cyclone?
Wasn't
the S10 Cyclone pickup, four-wheel
I was
drive?
going to say the Typhoon was the GMC.
Typhoon or
it was
GMC,
basically the Jimmy equivalent.
Yeah, the GMC Typhoon and Cyclone, and it was I can't remember if it was the Cyclone or the Typhoon, but I remember that year in Motor Trend magazine, it smoked the Porsches, dude. It was eating Porsches for breakfast, and I'm going, damn, that is wild, Good thing it's turbocharged V6, obviously. And I think they were four-wheel drive. I don't think they ever did four-wheel steering.
No.
They just did four-wheel drive on those, all-wheel drive, excuse me. That was a badass ride, man, in the early 90s. Those were some badass rides, man. You had to have money. I remember there was a kid at school who had one of those.
To be honest with you, I wasn't familiar with them, but I watched a lot of Garage Squad.
Yeah,
and they fixed one up, and they act like it used to be like the Cat's Meow.
Oh, it was, man. Those things just, oh, man, what a badass vehicle those were for 90s vehicles.
Yeah.
There's so many of them, man. And I remember I had my dirt bike at a Honda CR 125, and God, man, I got a lot of head injuries from that thing. But I raced a Mazda RX-7.
And my cousin has one of those to this day.
Yep, it was one of the new This had to have been 91, man. And it was this Filipino kid, you know, and he wanted to race me on my dirt bike, man. And I kept up with him, man. I damn near blew by him, you know, right from the start because those little two-strokes, man, that little dirt bike would just get it. But, you know, of course, he smoked right by me. I think I smoked a joint with him after it was all said and done, you know. He's like, yeah, man, you're pretty fast. I was like, yeah, bro. You know, I wasn't old enough to drive, dude. I had to have been like 14.
Not only is this weekend Veterans Day weekend.
Yeah.
Mad props to all the vets out there.
Absolutely.
Today is the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I.
Yeah, Armistice Day, man. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. It's Armistice Day.
Yes, sir.
You know, I was checking that out a little bit earlier. What a trip in poverty. And the way it triggered the second global war. What a mess that was at the end of that war, man. What did they say? 50 million people killed? Or I think 50 million, something of that nature. That's insane.
A while back, an independent film came out. It's called Sergeant Stubby, American Hero, and it was actually a kid's cartoon.
Yeah.
And it's based on a true story of this. I don't know if it's a Boston Terrier or whatever, but back during World War I at Yale College, the Yankee division was stationed there, and they found this little terrier dog, and they basically stowed him away over to Europe.
No way, really?
And made him his mascot.
Hell yeah.
And throughout the war, he got to detect, because he went through their gas training.
Ooh.
So he actually was able to detect the incoming gas, and so he would go around and warn neighboring villages and stuff. True
Hell
story,
yeah.
his stuffed carcass is in a museum. He's got all these awards and that. But this cartoon did such a great job because it is a cartoon, and it's designed for, you know, young kids, but the way they explained how World War I worked out. And the crazy thing that they covered in this is on the last day, today, 100 years ago, they had a time, an exact time of when the war ended.
Get out of here.
And these guys had to fight up until all their...
The last 60 seconds.
and there's like a handful of guys who died for nothing. Cause when they woke up that morning, they knew the war was going to be over at noon that day, or it could have been 1:30, forgive me.
But they're still going.
They still had to fight up until the very last second. Talk about a waste of lives.
Oh my God. That would suck.
So if you have kids and you want to learn them some history, or you like history yourself, check out Sergeant Stubby, American Hero.
I gotta write that down.
It's a cartoon.
Is it on YouTube, you think?
No, it may be. It came out about 6-7 months ago.
Sergeant Stubby. That's cool. All right, I'll check that one out. There's got to be like a little clips on YouTube. So.
Yeah, well, there's definitely clips out there.
Yeah, Armistice Day, man. Yeah, I was tripping on that earlier. I was like, because this is what it's 100 years today, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of stuff. I was watching Deutsch World earlier. Okay. The German television stuff. And NGK Japan. I watch a lot of that. Don't ask me why. I just watch Japanese TV, man. It's pretty crazy.
The chicks.
Huh?
The chicks.
No, dude. No. But they just got cool documentaries, man. They do cool stuff. They really do. They really do good work, man. I watch a Russian channel too. I can't remember which one that one is. But I was watching Deutsch World, and they were talking about the armistice and how it just declined into what the Second World War turned into of Europe and the poverty and the amount of
basically not to get into a history lesson on here.
No, I'm not trying not to, but it's just wild.
But
man.
basically, the Treaty of Versailles and the rules that went along with it. I mean, they controlled how many police officers Germany could have. Yep. Germany had to pay reparations.
Oh, big time.
So the French police, French military came in. They took a huge part of their gross domestic product and all this other stuff. And so their inflation went through the roof because all their output was being taken by other countries to pay back for the war.
Yeah.
And so the price of bread, everything went insane. So obviously poverty went through the roof. And so whenever you have something like that happen, you need a scapegoat.
Yeah.
Well, there's a group of assholes out there called they're called the National Socialist Party.
Yeah.
They like to wear brown shirts.
Yes, they do.
Another douchebag led them up.
Yep.
He was a really good speaker.
Yeah, remember that?
And he found a whole group of people to blame it on.
Oof.
And it took many years of marching and insanity, but they used the Treaty of Versailles and the regulations as their output.
As their scapegoat.
And their misguidance. I'm sorry, I'm just distracted. I'm looking at your microphone because when I did my podcast, I did my truck in Alabama.
Yeah.
And so your microphone's not completely up on all the supports in the back, the rubber bands. It's dangling there. No, your microphone itself.
Oh.
But anyhow, that's, yes, the end of
Yeah.
World War One and the rules that were applied in the peace treaty was the bullshit excuse for their nonsense in World War II.
I thought it was crazy, man, because I'm sitting there and looking at this stuff, and I'm going, man, what the hell? You know, it's interesting how easy the whole globe, the whole world can just literally just ravage itself and scavenge on itself so fast in a situation when politically you've got so many countries that are really hurting, I guess, in a way, or you get wars and things, you know, I don't know how, you know, maybe it's different now. I don't know, man. You know, I just know that back then, you know, you got Europe, and if Europe failed, bro, the rest of the world was really feeling it bad.
Absolutely.
Real bad.
Yep.
You know? And nowadays, you know, you know, we're feeling it, there's no doubt.
Well, Nick just tuned in. He wanted to remind me. He had a Z26 Beretta.
Nice.
4 Orion interns in it. 4 12 inches.
Yeah, dude.
And then at some point he took them out and he did 8 15s.
Rockford Fosgate or something. That was a big speaker in the 90s, Rockford Fosgate.
And then his brother had a 92 Camaro with 12 12s in it.
Nice. I just had two Rockford 10s in my pickup, man. That was enough.
I'll tell you what, my 96 Firebird, because of that cone back window, I just had one Soul Bear 10. It's still out my garage, and it sounded good enough. I mean, it wasn't winning competitions, but I didn't give a shit about that.
I wasn't out trying to win competition. And you know what? I didn't listen to a whole lot of rap. I mean, I did, but you know.
Well, you still don't.
No, I'm very much into the death hardcore, you know, metal scene, man. You know, like this Viking metal stuff that's out right now is just mind blowing to me, man. I'm just going, God, this is
Well,
insane.
a few episodes back, I suggested maybe that on certain days when you go to the radio, that maybe you change up the format of the music you listen to see if it has any impact on your personality.
I've tried.
Or anger management issues.
It doesn't work, man. It just makes me more pissed.
Why?
Because it's like, I'm going, what is this? I can't take it. I've got to hear screaming guitars, man. I got to hear that drum.
Is that all you listen to, like, daily?
Yeah, every day, all day long. And for me, it's like an elevator music, man. It keeps me calm.
It does not keep you calm.
Yes, it
keeps you
does,
wound
bro.
like a goddamn snare drum.
Dude, it helps me mellow out. Like, I went to sleep last night, and I had the headset on, and I was listening to, what the hell was it?
Ministry?
No, hell no, man. Not even, way harder than that, dude. This was some kind of Norwegian.
You wonder why you can't get any sleep.
It's some kind of Norwegian death metal, dude. It was crazy. And, you know, I just was like, yeah, this actually sounds... Oh, no, wait. I started listening to Crowbar. And then I ended up getting into some Norwegian death metal, man. But Crowbar's cool because that's New Orleans, like, sludge metal, man. It's just...
Okay.
Bah, bah, bah. I don't know, man. I love that stuff. I can't get enough of it, man. It's just, I am a rocker, dude. I am a freaking hardcore rocker, man. I don't know. I'll try again this week. I listen to Beastie Boys, bro. Come on now. I like NWA. If I want to listen to rap, dude, it's gotta be very street oriented. I don't want to listen to somebody like that, like Lil Xan and all these new crazy asses that are out there nowadays. Come on, man.
Hey, I think sometime, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago, I launched an updated version of d-410.com,
Oh, yeah.
so check that out. It has a link to Dave's Instagram, because otherwise you'll never fucking find it, because there's like underscores and
Yeah, you'll never gonna find me, bro.
signs and like ampersands and
You got to know me to
and-
find me, man.
and all that crap. But yeah, check out d-410.com. It has links to What's the Scuttlebutt podcast, another podcast that I launched called Failed to Fail. Clearly this one.
Very good.
All our social media stuff.
Yeah.
I understand we've been away for 3 weeks. We come back with you with this big steaming pile of nothing of a show.
It's a hodgepodge of crap, but hey,
Well,
don't
we're just
worry.
getting caught up because...
Dude, we haven't seen each other in
Well, not only
weeks,
that, but
almost
I've
a
been laid
month.
up for 3 days.
And you've been laid up. You feel like crap. I know you do.
It took
I can
7.5
see it.
hours to download Red Dead Redemption 2 yesterday because my Xbox is on the other side of the house and it's hooked up wirelessly, so that 68 gigs took 7.5 effing hours to download.
See, that sucks, man.
But then what happens is when I start playing and I have to sit stationary, my back just locks up on me and it gets so goddamn uncomfortable. So then I find myself out in the garage again.
It looks really good, though.
It's a lot of the same. If you like the original Red Dead Redemption,
I
you'll like it. If you did not like it, this one is not going to bring you running to the to the game board.
Yeah, I saw a clip of it over at Haney's on Friday, and I saw him kind of like just showing me a little bit.
Yeah,
of it.
He's been playing it. I haven't really talked to him.
I'm like, wow, man, that looks pretty. You know, he's showing me the open world, and I'm just going, man, you know, kind of just showed me the map, like where he's been, and then how much of non-explored. I'm going, dude, and how with the new 4K monitors. Oh my
I
god.
can imagine.
Oh my god, it looks so good, man. I was going, what the hell? It's like literally playing a freaking television show, man.
It's like playing a movie.
Yeah, it's like playing in the movie, man. It's trippy. I don't know. I don't have a television, bro. I don't have a game system. I don't have nothing, man. So
you ain't got nothing but your bullshit, man.
Dude, bro, I live in the wood, man. Dude, bro, I just live, man. I hang out with people.
And how has that been working out for you?
You know what? It's getting better. It is, dude.
The other thing I failed to mention before we wrap up the show is
it's getting better, man.
Saturday, I had the benefit to spend a few hours at the VFW on St. James City.
How was that?
We spoke about it briefly when we came back after we talked about my stepmom's passing. Well, leading up to that, my Uncle John, he ended up on life support 2 days before her, and he ended up passing away as well. And he was a Vietnam vet, and so we had a memorial and celebration of life him out at St. James City on Saturday. And it was kind of cool on Veterans Weekend to be surrounded by vets, and especially at a VFW. And then, obviously, the condition of my back and all that, my father and I, we took off about an hour and a half, and then they did a ride for him and all that. So they had a good time. And
well, that's good, man. So they raised some money up for the family and stuff, you think?
No.
Is that what it was? Or
no,
was it just
they raised some money for his family to buy some pull tabs. And for those of you who ever go to VFW, you know what that is. But it wasn't so much for that. It was just a celebration of his life and a remembrance ceremony for him.
That's good.
For all his friends who live down here.
That's cool, man. That's cool. All right, brother. Well, you know, this was a big shit show, but I'm always enjoying myself. It's always good to see you, man.
By the way, people, check us out on iTunes.
Absolutely.
Go to iTunes, look for WNDS or the Waterman and D-Train Show. While you're there, you can also subscribe to What's the Scuttlebutt and Failed to Fail. If you're not an iTunes listener, I get it. I'm an Android guy.
Yeah, me too.
Download the Stitcher app. You can find us on the Stitcher app. And you can still find us on the 96K-Rock's new app, so you can find us there as well. And I appreciate y'all hanging out with us. I promise you, this week as I'm driving around, I'll write down some valuable topics.
Yep.
And we could have gotten to the whole recount thing, but
Give
we've
us a
had
call
up our ass with recount stuff. Why get into the Greyhound stuff? We all know how everybody feels about that.
Right. Hey, look, and the way I see it, man, you can call us anytime at 772-218-7731. That's 772-218-7731. Give us a call all throughout the week. Leave a message. You guys want us to talk about something? Hey, let us know, man.
Hey, thanks for hanging out. And you guys can watch Dave walk over to the laptop because I can't stand up. And
you poor bastard.
Yep. D-Four.Ten.com. Check us out. Buy a t-shirt. That'd be cool. Thanks so much, guys. We'll bring you some real content next week, I promise, unless Dave doesn't show up again. I'm buying time for you. There you go. Bye, everybody.